I'm very confident all my students who finish their basic defense shooting class are able to handle and shoot safely, effectively, and accurately. So now we are moving on to advanced defense shooting. And one of the lessons is where to wear your holster and how to draw and fire when you have it under your shirt or your jacket. Now I want to let you know this method is not by USCCA or NRA. This is something that really works for me and I want to share it with you guys. Okay, let's first make sure gun is safe. It is empty. Now, as I mentioned before, I like to wear my holster outside the belt, not inside. Now, the two big reasons is that when I have it inside, I need to wear one size bigger pants, and it's uncomfortable, especially when I'm sitting down. And today we're going to talk about 12 o'clock, appendix, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, or 6 o'clock. So let's start with 12 o'clock. Okay, so this is at 12 o'clock, and you can see it's right there. And if you look at it, you can see this is kind of bulging out, and it actually shows the shape of my pistol grip. And again, sitting down is uncomfortable. And as I've told you before, I like to have my gun chambered when I'm carrying. So if I'm sitting down, and if for some crazy reason, if the gun goes off, I'm gonna lose my manhood. Now let's talk about drawing fire. Now, one of the main reasons that I think people wear at 12 o'clock is easier to draw and fire, where they could lift their shirt and use this hand to pull out and go forward. In my opinion, if it's uncomfortable, you're gonna stop carrying. And if you feel unsafe, it's gonna stop you from having it chambered. And also, at 12 o'clock, you really can't have it outside the belt. It always has to be inside the belt. Okay, next is appendix position. You could clearly see the shape of the pistol, but as a medical doctor, I could tell you this is most dangerous position because if you have it loaded, and if you're sitting down, and if the gun goes off, you're gonna shoot your major femoral artery or the nervous system. So it could actually kill you. So I would not recommend appendix position. Now let's talk about drawing fire. In appendix position, it is pretty comfortable because you could still lift it up and pull your gun out. Yes, it's pretty comfortable. Now, next is my favorite position, 3 o'clock. Now, you would think this is very noticeable, but when we have our hand naturally down, your arm actually consists of pistol, and it's really hard to see. And having it here, the gun goes off, it's very unlikely you're going to shoot yourself in the leg unless you're standing like this. Now, let's talk about the drawing fire. This is where it's got a little bit of a problem. Now, in most cases, when you pull your shirt up, the shirt gets caught on the pistol grip, so it gets snapped. So the way I do it is I will use one hand, using last 3 fingers to hook up the shirt, lift it up, and go down, and pull up and come straight forward. Now, honestly, for me, using one hand is faster and less complicated. Now, if you're using both hands and during a life-threatening situation, if either hand doesn't cooperate, then you might run into a problem. But one hand, the simpler and less movement is better. Next, we have 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Now, I'm not even going to talk about that because I'm dead against it. Reason being is it's very uncomfortable, and if you don't have your sight on your pistol at all time, there's a very good chance somebody's going to come and grab it and run with it. And drawing fire is more complicated because you have to swing your hand from the back forward, and when you have your gun swinging, you have your muzzle pointing it everywhere, and it's not safe.